The truth is clear, the time has come, the end is near. Through the storm, the light will shine, a vision divine, it's yours and mine. Turn it up, the truth is clear, the time has come, the end is near.
Good morning and welcome to the Phee Smee Show with Manly Mark. This is Manly Mark speaking, and this is Phee Smee. Hope you guys are doing good this morning. Phee, what do you got going on for us?
Rocking and rolling nickel and diamond from last night's Night with Phee.
I will say, why do you unmute your mic when I'm literally in the middle of my countdown? As if I want my countdown on the mic. Phee can't do timing to save his life.
I did not know.
That's something that you shouldn't have to even think about.
Again, I apologize for the...
No, I'm just hating. I've just been grumpy this morning. I am actually grumpy this morning, so I had no reason to be like, that bothered me. But, I saw my mother this morning. I was grumpy at her. I woke up grumpy. I was grumpy at my wife. I was grumpy at my kids. Grumpy at Phee.
And you look great. You don't have a hat on.
Yeah, but my hairline.
Doesn't his hair look good? I really like his hair. I told him, I'm glad you don't like wearing a hat today, but I missed the hats.
Oh, I forgot it. I just forgot it today. So, I didn't do anything special with my hair other than I just woke up and said, good morning, world. Well, actually, I woke up and said, why won't this baby stop making noises? And then by the time the baby stops making noises, my wife's 5 alarms that she snoozes start going off every 20 minutes. And then so it's like a mixture.
She's the snoozer, huh?
Yeah. I hate
So
snooze.
if she needs to get up at 6:30, she sets it at 5:30 and then...
It went off before 5. And I was, or before 6, excuse me. But I was just thinking like, well, okay, the second an alarm goes off, my eyes are open, I'm thinking, I'm conscious, I'm alive, I'm awake. And so it's just like, you just wasted an hour of real sleep.
Deep sleep.
Deep sleep. And then, at whatever time I actually need to wake up to act, alarm, second it even goes off. Like, it doesn't even get through its first beep cycle. But I'm up. I just, And I feel bad because I made
the subtleties of marriage.
Yeah, but I think that's just me being a crazy person. I don't know. But like I made a comment to my wife the other morning, and I meant it not in a mean way, but I just said something like, she said something like, sorry about my alarm. And I said something like, I was awake after the first one. I just but now I notice when her alarm goes off, she tries to get to it quicker. And now I feel a little bad because it's like I didn't mean.
She's conscious of it.
Yeah, but now I feel bad because it's just one more thing she has to think about when she wakes up as opposed to just
being relaxing and at peace.
Yeah, I didn't mean it like that. But still, it's just like nails on a chalkboard. Hearing an alarm go off for more than a millisecond.
Those babies getting anxious and crying in the night.
And what gets me is just like if I sometimes at first it just if he made a noise at anything I would just get up because I just woke me up, stick the passy in his mouth, whatever, put the blanket on him, get back in bed. But then my wife said, well, just he's mostly asleep, just crying out, and so now I'll hear that first one and be like, you ain't tricking me, I'm not getting out of bed. And then I'll cozy back up to the pillow I'm holding on to. And then right when I'm drifting back off, and it's just, but I guess it's just part of life.
It is part of fatherhood, parenting, and it's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful stage. It's just...
I'm not griping. Because, and I'm not even holding against my wife because she's a deep sleeper. Just takes a lot to wake her up. I'm just pin drop. Hello. If you just crack the door and poke your eye in there, you just hear me say.
That's that environment of camping.
Well, I don't know, but you just,
Bigfoot.
If you happen to be somewhere and I was sleeping and you just poked your head on me, I'd say, hello, Phil. Hey, whoa. How'd you know I was there?
Do you sense when people are in the room when you're sleeping? Do you
feel that way? I don't know. It's not that mean. I don't know. Because, I might say that, and then you'll come in there and I'm just passed out. So, I don't know, but maybe. But I've always been I can fall asleep anywhere, but I'm not a very deep sleeper.
I dated a young lady in my youth, and her father was a farmer, and he could sleep standing up.
No, I can't do that.
I have actually seen on multiple occasions him lean against the door face and go to sleep And I've seen him lay on the ground in the middle of a hot summer, lay on the ground and put his feet on an ottoman and go to sleep for 10 minutes and then get right back up and go to work. He could, and my father could take naps. If I go try to lay down and take a nap, I'm not getting up in 15 minutes.
Yeah. It just depends. Sometimes I can do that.
I'm not a nap person, but they say they're very good for you.
Sure. I believe it. Like those cultures that take like a siesta or something. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
You know, because like they go work they get to work a little late, work for 4 hours, go take a siesta.
Well, now how long is a siesta?
I don't know, but long enough for you to like have a nap or actually rest and relax. You know, and then you go back to work, say like 6 to 10 or something, because then all the shops close late. And I mean, I'm not like exactly right on all the times, but it sounds great. Sounds great. You know, like, because imagine having a job locally, having breakfast with your family. Okay, baby, see you kids. I'll be back at lunchtime. You go work for a few hours, you know, long enough to not be like, you know, long enough to be like, whoa, here you go, here's your whatever, or, you know, doing whatever. Okay, I'm going to lunch. I'll see y'all in a few hours. Go home, enjoy lunch with your family, take a quick snooze, maybe have a little glass of wine. I mean, you know, in culture, and then
we're talking different cultures.
And then and then hang out for a little bit, and then okay, baby, I'm going back to work. I'll be back for supper time. You know, because they have supper later. You know, and then go work for a few more hours and come on home. I don't know. Now, granted, I am also the mindset I'd rather have a job from 6 to 2, so I'd rather wake up at 5:30. Hustle to work, work until 2, and then be done for the day and not have to think about anything. But that's just me. But the whole siesta thing sounds nice. Nice.
Well, I just, you know, in America's culture, I worked in a factory one summer.
Yeah, not fun.
And
I've been there.
They would give you had to be there at 7. And then they would give you a 15-minute morning break, and then they would give you lunch, and then a 15-minute afternoon break.
Yeah, that's been my experience for the most part.
Left. So I didn't know if a siesta in other cultures was 15 minutes
no,
or whether
I think
it was 2 hours.
I think it's a good few hours, yeah. I mean, I don't know the exact times you could look
and
it up.
Certainly in the French and in a couple more European cultures, they're definitely drinking at 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock.
Oh yeah, they're enjoying their day, man.
They're not going to work till 6 o'clock at night.
It's just a culture thing, man.
So, and as far as how much time have you spent in the break room working for factories and
in the break room? A lot of time.
I would think you would be the break room guy.
Well, I had been.
Hey, Mark's in the break room. Let's go hang out with him.
Well, it is until it gets to the point where, I mean, because, you know, sometimes being the clown, sometimes I got to take time for myself. So, like, at lunchtime, sometimes I like to go and just sit and not think. Or just sit and stare at my phone.
So you're isolation luncher?
Yes, I am. I am an isolation. I mean, I'm an isolationist every moment of every day. It's just by virtue of having to talk to folks that I do. I don't know if it makes sense, but it's like, I mean,
you're an interesting cat because you like your isolation, but you also love to visit with people.
Well, I do like to visit people until it gets to the point where it's no longer entertaining or it's no longer interesting to me, and then I want to no longer be a part of that. You know, I mean, I
when you check out, you check out.
Yeah, like I went on a week-long hike and didn't see a person for 7 days. Didn't talk to another person. Didn't see another person. But in that 7 days, I didn't even think about that fact that I hadn't seen or talked to another person for 7 days until after the fact. You know, it just didn't even
enter your mind.
Enter my mind. Didn't even cross my mind. I was just in my mind the whole time, hiking, experiencing, living, that I just didn't even think, oh, I hadn't talked to nobody in a few days. Oh, you know, it just didn't even cross my mind.
When you're out on the camping trails, you've got your cell phone with you?
Oh, yeah.
So are you looking at the news or whatever you're scrolling on?
I wouldn't say looking at the news, but, like, for example, like, I like to listen to music when I get to my campsite. Like, it just not like loud, trashy music, but like the music you hear on my podcast, the little jazz music. I'll get the fire going. I'll hang my lantern, kerosene lantern, not an LED lantern, kerosene lantern. And then I have a little small speaker that just...
That's important to him, not an LED lantern.
No. And then I'll have a little speaker that will play like 40s music, just a very low volume. That way it just kind of sets the mood kind of, and then it's
Has
just
the kerosene lighter, but the surround sound Bluetooth speaker.
well, so I do have my cell phone, but also I use my cell phone as I have a hiking app, so it's like actually has GPS GPS map of the trail on my phone, and so
The trail has to be marked, so you're not just going out in the woods.
No,
You're
I do
actually
these
on
loop trails. I do these loop trails. Now there are trails that I've been on where I have lost the trail for several miles, and like I don't know, the trail was like a 14-mile loop, and I ended up hiking 17 because at one point I got so turned around and lost that I spent 2 hours just kind of what because the app was saying it's only for me to realize at this point half a mile back I was supposed to crawl down this little hillside that I didn't notice had maybe a small path on it. You know what I'm saying? Just missed it, couldn't even find it. And then a good portion of the trail that just didn't seem to be a trail. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're walking in a direction and you're like, well, my phone's telling me to walk right on this line even though there's no visible trail. But and then you come across some markers, you're like, okay, well, it worked out. But there have been trails like that. But I do want to do hikes and adventures where it's like, they might call that like mountaineering, where there's a mountain or the wilderness and you just go forge your own trail. That sounds fun to me because it involves like actually getting to look into topography and maps and figure out this and that. That sounds fun.
Well, I had a young man and his girlfriend invite me to play disc golf.
Yeah.
And of course, you throw a frisbee is what I'm telling you into like a little chain deal.
Yeah.
So I said sure, and we go out there and we're playing disc golf.
Right.
And we play about 3 holes, and then we're going to hole 4, and I'm just following him.
Isn't that pitiful?
I've got no socks or shoes on. I'm wearing sandals.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, he thinks hole 4 is one way, and we go over there, and he can't find the hole. He keeps walking. I'm just walking behind him and his girlfriend.
See this?
Before long, we're on a day. We're grass is up to our knees. We're not on the course anymore. We're on a low water bridge now.
Sure.
And so now I've got ticks, chiggers.
Alpha gal.
And I'm not dressed to go on a hike. I don't like hiking.
No, sir.
Because now I'm walking down hills on rock. So anyway, an hour later, we never find the disc golf, but I do find the road.
Sure.
I knew I was in good shape when I started finding golf balls.
Well, my thing is, the second I thought, I don't know where I'm at, I would have said to whoever I'm with, hey,
I did.
I don't know where I'm at.
I did, but I thought they knew where they were.
Well, but I would have said, you guys know where we're at? Now, had someone had the ego to say, yeah, I do, I might have thought, oh, okay. But
until 10 minutes went by, and then you say,
and you're like, okay, I still haven't found what we're looking for.
Yes, and then you say, 30 minutes, but hey, man, now we're lost.
Let's just go back to where we came from, or keep walking. Or
I would have been in that situation where you don't. Should I keep going in that direction, or should I turn around and come back?
A few times. Well, a few times, and most of the time I've continued on just a little more, and then said, no, I'm going back.
Don't you think that most people continue on?
Yeah, for too long.
Down that road?
For too long, instead of just saying, okay, I'm going back.
I made a mistake.
Yeah,
back around.
yeah. But I've also had experiences like, okay, not to turn or shift the convo, but I guess this is right after I graduated high school. I had a good 2 or 3 months during that summer where I would just find the most back roads, right? And I'd drive 40 miles on back roads, right? And just find all these trails to go down. I didn't even have a 4-wheel drive truck, but I'd find these trails to go drive my truck down, and like wouldn't have phone service. Sometimes I'd be like, oh, I almost get stuck. Be like, whoa, I'm just out of luck. Drive down some trails and see some tents out there in the middle of just absolutely nowhere. And then the Ozarks, over in like Logan County. I don't know if those are the Ozarks, what kind of mountain those are, but just tons and tons of wilderness out there. I've got the heck out of, I've been in places where it's like instant bad vibes, turn around. But then there was a time specifically where I was driving somewhere, whatever, saw a little trail, parked my truck, walking down the trail, a good like a mile or two, just beat bopping around, and all of a sudden I just got like hit with this feeling, like this bad feeling, like I can't explain it, if it was like a you're being watched feeling, or if just something, but like made my hair stand up on my arms and legs, and just a voice in my head said, "Turn around and sprint back." So I just.
Yeah, that's the Holy Spirit right there.
I don't know, man, but I just zip and zapped on out of there, ran all the way back.
But it was immediately you knew.
There's been a few instances like that during that time out in the forest like that, where I've just been, had just feelings like I just said, "Oh, you better just turn around and run back the way you came." So I just whoop, and then another time where it's like. I was climbing up on some rocks it's kind of in the same parts, climbing up some rocks, getting up on top of them, looking around, climbing down. But then I noticed the sun started to set. And for whatever reason, it's like the way I got in, easy. But the way back, I found myself having to crawl essentially on my hands and knees through like just 100 yards of just thorns and thickets while it just kept getting progressively darker. And I just kept thinking, I don't know. I just had a bad feeling about it,
I don't like those thickets. I don't like those thorns.
Well, me either, but I don't know. I was just stuck in it, and it just literally just spent 30 minutes to an hour just.
That'll rip up some legs and ankles.
Oh, I was just picking my way through it. But I don't know, that one where it just had the innate urge to turn around and run. I don't know. Spooks me out. I still think about it.
I just want to know what was there. That they were saving you.
I don't know.
Your Lord was saving you from.
I don't know. Because, I see people. There's people obviously living out there who don't want to be found. So I don't know if it was something like that, or I don't know.
Maybe they was getting their gun when you was running the other way.
I couldn't tell you. Don't know. But I just but it's just those feelings you have, man. Ooh. But I just love hiking. But I say that to say I've never had that happen on any of the backpacking trips I went on. Even the time I heard Bigfoot, never had any of those bad feelings. Or the turn and run away feelings, that kind of gut feeling. Never experienced that while I've been actually out on an overnight trip. So,
well, that's a blessing.
It's a blessing, but I don't know if it's now that I'm a little older, because God, that was 10 years ago, in essence. So it's like maybe I'm older, have a dog with me, also usually have a gun and a stick, but I don't know.
And a knife.
And a knife.
So you have a gun, a stick, knife, dog.
Well, the knife's just for utility in the sense. Sure. You could still poke a cat if you needed to.
Right.
Because I prefer fixed blades. I don't like foldable blades.
I get
personally.
That.
Fixed blade.
People really. There's a whole industry of people collecting knives.
Well, I don't care about collecting them.
I know. I'm just telling you.
I know, and I like a good knife, but I want one that I can use. Like if I had the money, I'd buy a good $200 knife that would sit horizontally on my belt.
Yeah.
That way it would just be like, "Hey, give me your wallet."
Yep.
Whoa, okay. Yeah. You give me your wallet now, dude. Yeah, and give me those Jordans, man. Yeah. Take off that chain too, dude. I'm taking it off.
Oh, that's fantastic.
But but they're just a little pricey, so I haven't bought one yet. But it's the same thing I think with guns. I'm super pro gun, and I don't blame it in the sense of I'm not hating on hobbyists or people who just enjoy guns, because I know several people who like guns. I have
100 guns.
I have 100 guns, but then they equate it to, well, I'm not worried about what's coming. I got myself an arsenal. What's not useful is 100 guns in the hands of three people.
Yeah.
What's useful is one gun and one clip in the hands of 100 men. Organization. People confuse themselves into thinking that because I'm well stocked and well armed, it's good. But what's actually useful in any situation like that, whether that be feeding yourself or protection or anything, is organization, community. And they've made that planning, but they've made that near impossible in today's time with the political climates, the race relations, that kind of climate. But I think the real important thing to do in these times is to establish community, establish organization within your community, and think about these things that are going to happen, as opposed to, well, I got a 75 AR-15s. I ain't worried about nothing. How much can you carry? if you got to get out of there, how much can you carry? And then it's like, how much can you use in the middle of, I don't know. You know what I'm saying. It's like, and I'm not saying give your guns away to people. I'm just saying it's better to have yourself armed and in communication and organization within your community. I don't think Phee can argue that. He would probably agree.
No, I mean, I know people that they're well stocked.
Yeah, me too. And I'm not hating on that because a lot of people do it because it's a hobby, and I know people like that, and it's fun. I like just going and looking at all their stuff, their collection. It's fun. It's interesting. They say, tell me the stories of this and that, and that's great and fun. But I just think it's the mindset of checking it off on the box that I've got 100 guns and 1 million rounds of ammo. So don't worry about the end times, or don't worry about, I don't know, the sleeper cells or the civil unrest. Don't worry about these things because I'm well armed. I think that's too shallow to think about. That's my only contention about that. But I think it's important in that organization is more important than stockpiles of
if you
weapons.
don't organize before the chaos.
Exactly.
Then it makes it a whole lot more difficult to organize after the chaos.
Well, because after the chaos, people are suspicious of everyone else. So the second the chaos takes off, the chance of organization is near nothing unless it's just, I don't know, a community that's already tightly knit or people know each other, Because you're going to be very leery of strangers when the chaos ensues. I would imagine.
I would think so.
Yeah.
If you don't know them, and of course you're going to be deceived by many.
Well, yeah. That's why I'd rather just, and it's hard now I'm married and have a family, but.
So we're dealing with Russia and Putin and Trump.
Well, what's going on with that? Tell me.
Well, Washington says that Russia asked for the meeting, and Russia says that America asked for the meeting.
See, why is that even important?
And they're trying to get this Ukraine-Russian war, a summit with Putin and the Ukraine president and Trump. I don't think that'll happen.
No, I don't either. And not to interrupt you, but I just checked on my phone on the YouTube, and Jerry's just checked in, so our chat's not doing right.
What's up, Jerry?
So Jerry, we're glad you're tuning in. Yeah, I'm glad you found us.
Yep.
And that's all Jerry knows. But that's all I'll say about that.
That's all you'll say about that. And Mark was doing my eulogy again. I tell you, if it ever happens, he'll be to practice several times.
Yeah, but now that I've said it so many times, people are gonna think it's a joke. If I actually have to, I guess I don't know if something like that actually happened. Would you want me to come on air?
Of course.
Or would you want me to
just disappear and ignore act like it never happened?
Yeah, well, for real, what would you prefer?
I think you would walk on and say, ladies and gentlemen, whoever had watched Phee die has just now collected the ticket.
Well, okay, so let me set the scene. I pull up one morning.
Yeah.
The door's locked, whatever.
Yeah.
I call you. Yeah. Bang on the door. The dogs are barking. I'm like, what the heck, Phee? I go dig the key.
Climb through the window.
I go in there and you're not moving. I throw find something to toss at you.
Yeah.
Hey, Phee! Hey! Thine eyes have seen the Phee! Hey! Hello?
I mean, you're kind of strange about you mean to tell me if I was actually laying lifeless in the bed, you wouldn't want to grab my leg?
No, I would never.
You would throw something at me?
Ugh, even thinking about it's making me...
I mean, are you that homophobe? You mean to tell me
homophobe?
You would not grab, say, "Hey, Phil, wake up." That would bother you?
It has nothing to do with being a homophobe. It has nothing to do with you being a male.
So you wouldn't want to touch and grab somebody and try to wake them up and
shake
them?
I thought for a second you might be dead, then shoot, no. But... if I saw you breathing or wiggling, I'll go shake you. I'll give you mouth to mouth if you needed it. Ladies and gentlemen, he needs it. I mean, I'd give you mouth to mouth if it necessitated, the situation necessitated it. But I mean,
you said you'd throw something at me to wake me up. I just
didn't know why
you wouldn't come over and grab my leg and say, "Hey, wake up."
Because the fact that I called you, the fact that I'm yelling at you, my first thought would be, he is dead. And so I would either just look more closely.
You ever touched a dead body?
No, I don't want to. I'm sure I'll have to at some point, but I don't particularly want to. I don't even like to glance upon them.
It's okay. You're not.
I get that. Now, if I had to do it, I'm not an open casket kind of guy. Like personally, if I unfortunately, if something was to happen to me, I'm not speaking these things upon me. Knock on wood.
You don't have any wood here.
I don't want an open casket. I don't want a viewing. Just bury me. Just put me in the ground, do a little preaching about Jesus, and put me in the ground. That's it. That's all I want. I don't even want to be embalmed. Just, if I die in the next few days, or however that works, put me in a pine box, maybe cedar. I like cedar. And then just bury me in the ground, please. Just don't put those juices in me that are going to keep me from decomposing and becoming one with the earth again and releasing my spirit back through the ether, in case that matters. Or in case it'll keep you trapped in a concrete prison until the day of resurrection. I don't know. Just don't embalm me. I don't know. Just put me in the ground, man.
You're a burial kind of guy rather than a cremation?
I mean, I'm not saying that cremation is wrong or there's anything wrong with it, but personally, I know it's dumb because, again, I don't think these things actually matter. But I just like the idea of being buried around those I love, and then on the day of resurrection being like, whoa! Hey, where's Uncle Tom? Whoa! Hey! I don't know. It's just a good thought, which I know is just delusion, but just a good thought.
Makes you feel comfortable.
Makes me feel comfortable about
you're around your loved ones.
Yeah, I guess, even though you're just dead at that point, so it doesn't matter.
People that are claustrophobic, they don't want to be buried.
No, I mean, if I'm dead, I'm actually dead.
Some people have a real fear of fire and burning.
Well,
either way, you're not there anyway.
Well, yeah, I mean,
we're still talking as if we are, so go ahead.
Well, yeah, I mean, in that regard, I have no opinion because it's like if you were to bury me alive, I wouldn't like it. I certainly would. And if you were to burn me alive, cremate me, I certainly wouldn't like it.
All right.
But
if you...
instance of me actually being dead?
Yes. It doesn't matter?
No. I mean, now it...
I would you just know you're in the ocean.
No, I don't want that. I mean, I would prefer to be buried.
Okay, buried over burning.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. But...
some people really don't. I mean... And there's some cases in low water places where they actually have you above the ground.
Yeah. Which that's just part and parcel.
Yeah.
But
you're in Louisiana, they bury you above the ground.
But I just don't want to see dead bodies. I don't want to touch dead bodies. I don't care for an open viewing personally because I don't want to see the last time I see that person be them dead.
The older you get, the more funerals you'll go to, and the more opportunities you'll have.
Well, I think about my grandmother often. She's 89. How many people does she know that she knew her whole life that are no longer living? I mean, the older you get, the less people you know that are alive.
That's correct.
I'm just saying. I don't know. I mean, it
not a big problem at 60. At 60, you think, well, you've lost some along the way.
Well, yeah, but it's even
80, most of them are already gone.
It's scary to think about even being like 40 or 45 and think, well, old Tom had a heart attack.
Yep.
And it's like, whoa,
that'll start happening to you.
Whoa, that could have been me.
Or somebody had a car wreck.
Yeah, or that. Cars, I hate cars. But that, ooh.
Yeah, you always hear, you're one of your classmates. I had several folks die when I was growing up that were young. I had a black boy that he drowned in
dense bones, man.
And he was in the 10th grade. I really liked it. I had really good friends with him. And then I had a car wreck. A girl in a car wreck died. So I think, and then we had one in a fire at 32. So there's three of them. In all three different situations.
Hell, why even live?
Drowning,
man?
fire, and car wreck.
Why even just live?
Well, the odds are that's not going to happen.
Well, but until it happens.
But it happens, 2 out of 100.
And no one's ever thinking about it. Ooh-wee. I don't like it.
Yeah, you're going to... so the open caskets bother you. You don't want to remember people the last time you see them as being passed away, right?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, and maybe I say that, and it isn't actually like that. But... I just don't even, I don't know. I'm just the type of person, and maybe this isn't healthy, but I would rather just ignore the way things make you feel and then go feel them alone in another place by yourself. Does that make sense?
You grieve differently.
I don't know, because I'm me.
And plus, you don't want anybody to see you.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I just do. No thanks. Simple. I like things simple. Not drawn out. They're dead. say a few words about Jesus, put him in the ground, and let's just keep on living.
You heard it right here on the Phee Smee show with Manly Mark.
I don't know what that, but I don't know your perspective because you've actually had to live a life of something I'm already dreading.
Well, I was,
if that makes sense.
Yes, I've been around. I've spoken at many funerals.
Because I wouldn't even want to speak at a funeral.
I've been when they ask you and they died. What do you do?
Well, they're not gonna know.
You don't say.
Unless they ask me in front of 3 other people. Well, it's gonna die with them.
Trust me when I tell you, there's two things you don't want to be involved in. You don't want to mess up the wedding, and you don't want to mess up the funeral.
Well, I tell you, I didn't mess up there was no way you could mess up my wedding.
Of course not. And how many people have you married, by the way?
I've just married one couple.
One couple.
Yeah, I'm actually I don't want to say ordained minister in the sense of I can go preach at a church. I mean, I guess if some fools
he can marry people.
Yeah, I've got
he can preach, and he's got his certificate.
Yeah, I got a certificate I paid $50 online for at the Universal Life Church of Jesus Christ. But I've married one couple, and I don't even think it lasted a year.
It had something to do with who officiated the ceremony.
I don't know. I think it had something to do with the fact that the place we all worked at had 2 plants, and the husband worked at one plant. The wife worked at the other plant. And then the wife started running around with a guy at the other plant while the husband was at
the other plant.
Yeah. But then, so they didn't even get divorced because it was too much of a hassle. They she just started living with the other guy, and got knocked up, and I don't know, maybe they got divorced now, but there's even instances where it's like the other guy was still paying for her insurance or this or that, and it's just like, why? If my wife looks funny at another guy, I'm sitting there thinking, well, I'm gonna go pick up a gallon of milk. I'm going to Missouri. I ain't coming back. I mean, that's an exaggeration. That's an exaggeration, but you know what I mean. Like, the last thing I'm thinking is, well, I gotta make sure she's got her insurance.
Yeah, I want to make sure she pays her insurance.
Well, I don't know, man. But maybe that's
so. I want to get this straight because I know it's I didn't get the full story, so I want to get the full story. You married a couple. They worked at a plant. They had 2 different buildings at the plant. She worked at one building.
2 different locations, but within 20 minutes of each other.
Different locations within 20 minutes of each other. The plant she worked at, she found another dude, started running around, ended up with that dude, moved in with him, and the other guy that she was married to was concerned about paying her insurance.
It was something along those lines. I mean, if an exact detail is off,
that's definitely whoever officiated the ceremony's fault.
I don't know. I did a pretty good ceremony. I mean,
I bet you did. I bet you did.
I mean, it was short and sweet, but I might have talked about the Lord a little bit. But I tell you, I mean, I'm not hating on nobody, but that woman was definitely a flirter around the shop. I'll say that.
Only in America.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say because if she tuned in, because if someone at my old place found this,
I doubt that anybody would know whoever she is. I certainly don't, and don't care.
Well, yeah, but like if Zach Leach, guy I used to work with, shout out to Zach Leach if you're tuning in. God bless you, Zach Leach. He'd be like, "Hey, look, Mark's on this podcast talking about you." It'd be a whole thing, really. I mean, because there's only like, I don't know, like at any given time, 12 to 20 people working at that place. Mm-hmm. And so it's small enough. I mean, at the one location, it's small enough that it's like you say one thing, you hear the same thing when you go across the shop at lunchtime. You know what I mean? Or you can literally, I've seen it happen. Tell somebody something,
and before you get
I mean, it'd be like me and my boss Jackie, they'll be like, "Hey, let's set old Angie up. Hey, Angie, did you hear about Corey over there? This, and that. What? I mean, just make up something silly, right. And then be like, okay, watch this, and put Corey in on it too or something. And then just be like, okay, Angie does a little fake work for a second, mushing around the parts of the machine, and then, she'll go take her cigarette break, start walking around. See her talking to Steve. See her talking to Joe. I don't know. It's just funny. It's just funny. I don't know if anyone out there works in small manufacturing plants, but I prefer places like that over large. I've never worked in a large manufacturing plant, one where you're just a number, because then you don't get to manipulate, or I don't want to say manipulate because that sounds nefarious, but then you don't get to establish yourself in a position where they expect less work out of you, but expect you to do a little minstrel show every once in a while. That makes sense.
It does make sense for you. It does make sense for you, I can assure you that. But I can see from a psychological relationship standpoint, you like to stir things up, don't you?
Now, I don't like to stir things up in the sense of I don't want to cause any real drama or cause any real problems. But
you don't mind pranking somebody.
I don't mind pranking someone, or if it's something that's like company policy that's just outrageous that no one's going to follow anyways, I might say something over here to somebody to get them riled up. I don't know. I don't want to give away all my secrets or make myself seem bad, make myself seem nefarious. But
well, you've already done that.
Well, but I'm the type of guy. It's like if I believe in a political cause that's worth going to war over, I'm going to talk people into going to war.
Okay.
Instead of going to war myself. Does that make sense?
That.
Now I say that if we got some Chinamen start falling out of the sky, yeah, I'm going to go to war, whatever. But I make myself sound like a bad guy. That's not the point.
You are. Yeah, but that's okay. You're not really a
bad
guy.
But what I mean? Sometimes, I just like to stir the pot because it's funny to just watch the chaos. I like chaos.
Right.
And now, again, sometimes that leads to nefarious things. Not even for me personally, but just it has on accident. But in general, it's just I just like to see, you throw in a little bean to the soup, and you
spice.
You a little spice, and you just watch people, start to sweat a little bit. I don't know if that explains anything.
I think you create chaos to watch it.
Yeah, but that's why what I'm saying. I want to watch it, but I don't want to actually harm anyone or.
No, you're not. I think you know where the line is.
Well,
you just like to play in the gray area.
Yeah, it's just fun. Just poke around. Or, like the you died. It's the whole little bit about you dying.
Yeah.
Clearly you're not dead, but you had people texting you, "Are you alive?"
Yeah.
That's hilarious to me. That is just the best thing in the world to me.
Yeah, what if it triggered an emotional situation for them?
Okay, now I'm not thinking about that.
Yes, that you wouldn't want to harm them.
Well, but at the same time, I'm also thinking, well, I really didn't do a good job of acting.
No. So they're not used to.
But I don't know.
They don't know how good you can act.
Yeah, good point.
So you broke character pretty quick.
Yeah, well, but Gen G's tuning in, so Gen G, thanks for tuning in. God bless you. We love you as always.
Yes, absolutely. And by the way, I have to tell you that I've been telling people for I don't know how long, 2 months, 3 months, how great our National Guard is going to be during the civil unrest. And today, President Trump said that he is considering bringing out the National Guard in Washington, D.C. So that's I think you're going to see a whole lot more of that in the coming months.
But this we talk about a National Guard, and I don't know. I've just had this thought: we have a government that's willing to punish cities and states for having an opinion about Palestinian rights. Mm-hmm. Would it really be that much of a stretch to think we'd have a country that would sick its own soldiers or people on the citizens of our country? No, that's not to say that it would be the National Guard or that the National Guard would do that, but I'm just saying.
I think our National Guard will represent us with flying colors. Will win, and because of them and the civil unrest. When somebody's trying to get you from the inside out with people that are already here in your communities, who else would you want to be able to police them? Because the police department's going to be overwhelmed.
Yeah.
The fire department's going to be overwhelmed.
They're probably worrying about their own families.
So again, I know what you'd be doing. You'd be getting a posse together.
Well, I don't have a posse.
But I know that's what you'd be getting it together for.
Well, but I wouldn't have.
Call you four brothers and your dadgum church folks.
Too spread out.
Okay.
Too spread out. I don't. Now there's a central hub we could all meet at.
Right.
The people who are my brothers might show up at, but the thing is, it'd be like, okay, oh no, civil unrest. Oh no, EMP. Oh no, Chinamen fall in the sky. Well, I hope it took me 3 months to get to the hub.
Right.
Hope in the next 6 months one of my other brothers shows up.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? It'd be something like that. I mean,
Yeah, but you got at least 10 people within 20 to 30 miles from you. Those are the 10 that you need real quick.
oh, I guess. But again, they'd be worrying about their own stuff. You know, I don't know. Maybe I don't know because I don't know. See,
Plus, you've got a river too between.
yeah, but
you and them.
even me saying, oh, the most important thing is organization. I'm not even organized.
No, not yet, but you will be.
Yeah, I need a plan where I'm going.
This is not going to.
Or if the Phee Smee money starts coming in, I'll buy a little spot.
I know you're going to
and-
spend a lot of money on getting your rice and beans.
Get my rice and beans and a
And
spot in
hopefully
those
get a
Ozark
well,
Mountains. I'm gonna get me a spot in those Ozark Mountains, build me a cabin, have things stashed there, have it set up there, with a well, a wood stove, a few solar panels for like a light bulb or this or that, you know, seed bank, this and that. Set up a place there, have a few rice and beans at my house for the trip, this and that. The second anything starts happening, take me and my family to that spot. And just
Can you fish and can you hunt there?
well,
Or
it
you'll
would
be bringing protein with you.
Well, I'd be probably bringing. I would ideally, if I had enough time to set up, I would bring a goat or sheep or chickens with me, and then if it's over in the Ozarks, you'd be in the I mean, ideally, if I had the money, it'd be butted up against the national forest.
Right.
So and if a civilization is just in ruins,
You're in pretty good shape.
well, I mean, in the sense of it doesn't matter where I hunt or fish because no one's coming to check my license, you know.
No.
That's the point, you know.
Right.
And so, but you would just have access to all the surrounding. You're less likely to have folks coming poking around because, you know, you're over in Yellville, Arkansas, or
Yeah.
somewhere. I don't know, but I don't have the money to do that, so I can't.
No, but that's what your plans are.
Yeah, if I had the money,
And
and I might even buy a little glider. Okay, folks, load up. We're going. No, I wouldn't do that.
On the airplane?
No, I wouldn't do that because I mean it'd be probably a 30-minute trip, 20-minute trip. I don't know, but I would
how many folks you gonna put in the plane? See,
Well, just my
you put a
immediate.
glider for one.
Well, sorry, folks, you're on your own. Wouldn't that be something?
Well, yeah.
And then I get
Daddy'll
there.
be back. He's going to town.
Well, but then I go there for like 3 months. I get where I finally get my radio up and working. Realize civilization's not collapsed. Put her on back to my folks. I was just kidding. I was just teasing. But I would just, the second I saw anything hairy going down, and load up my folks and get on over there. I say that my wife and kids are the only folks I'm talking about, but
Well, you got a mother and grandmother close to you.
but I don't know.
You got
But
some
it
cousins
depends.
and uncles and aunts.
But it depends on the situation. Situation given. Do I have time to reach or get them? No. Sorry, we're out. But I mean, if I had time or planning or the resources, sure. But yeah, I think it's like I don't know how to describe it. But then you have my immediate family would be the most important in the sense of given time and resources first and foremost. Okay, given more time and more resources, okay, I'll extend that out to my mother and grandmother and brothers. Given more time and more resources, okay, you know, does it make sense?
Yeah.
But because
you have a priority checklist.
Well, yeah, and that's
your wife and your children are
but why? But they would have to be.
And then,
you know.
then the second one, you got to go to mother, grandmother.
Yeah,
that
but
live together.
it would just be situation specific.
And if you could communicate with your brothers or your other family, you could probably get together. So that's
Yeah.
why the National Electronic Communications Drill is so important, because if people that have the money, number one thing they've got to have is 2 satellite phones,
Oh, sure.
because they can communicate.
Which I'm just if things are really that bad, I'm not worried about satellite phones. I'm not worried about
Yeah, I
a
know you're
generator. I'm not worried about.
I know you're
I don't
not.
know.
But most folks would be. They're interested in trying to know what's going on. You'd be just up there every day. You couldn't care less. You just say, "Hey, I'm going fishing."
Well, but the point I'm making is it's like, I mean, I've even heard you talk about we need to get a generator that we can keep things going if something happens. And it's like,
Yep.
well, if something happens, we've got a generator enough fuel for 2 days, but we can't get to the gas station and get more fuel.
No, it's a solar generator.
Well, but do you know what I mean? The point I'm making is if
My point is, we're going to have to find a way to be on the air, so we've got to have backup generators and
well,
backup
sure,
fiber
but if
and
it's
everything else.
so bad that like okay, people in cities after day 2 of no food and no water, you think they're tuning in to the radio, or do you think they're like it's a zombie
I don't think
apocalypse?
a lot of people will be tuning in, but if you're on the air, there will be some way to communicate with somebody.
Sure.
That's like the ham radio operators.
Sure.
The further you go back, I would suggest you get an AM, FM radio with batteries and an antenna.
Yeah, I'd agree.
And a flashlight.
I agree. Yeah. I agree.
Go back and look at the supplies. But yes, people need to know. My National Electronic Communications drill is based on the same business plan as Walmart as far as distribution centers,
Sure.
meeting places, and knowing where it is. The problem is people don't think about how many bridges that they go over in water that they go over to go to places.
I know it, and how easy it'd be to
eliminate those bridges.
yeah, for somebody. Or even like, I can't remember specifics, but there was like, it kind of goes in conspiracy circles, but maybe in like the 70s or 80s, there was an attack on like a power station somewhere in the United States. I don't know if you heard about it, where, I don't know, the situation was someone or a few people pulled up with machine guns, shot the power stations, and then like the power was out in, 3 major cities, something like that. But the point being was that our power grid is very susceptible to sabotage. I mean, as easy as like a big old giant one in Alma, right? Like next to Walmart, close to Walmart. I don't know what they are, transformers, this, and that.
Yeah, that's what they're called.
But how
Power
easy,
stations,
but the point being is there was an instance where someone rolled up to one, shot some machine guns at one, and it really caused some trouble.
Yep.
And so I just thought, even like we got out of church and we was driving to the restaurant, and I drove past it, and I said to my wife, and of course she thought I was crazy. I said, "Man, it's just got a little fence and some signs that says you'll die if you go touch something. But how easy would it be to sabotage?" And I'm not like a domestic, but
Right.
but I just thought,
You're thinking like that, though.
yeah, but I'm thinking in the sense of it. That's too vulnerable, and I've even heard people talk like, well, they could spend, the money they're spending on all this ridiculous bullcrap, the billions or millions, that it would only cost, I don't know what I heard this on Alex Jones, what the number was, but something to the effect of $6 billion would harden our infrastructure as far as the power grid goes in America, and that's a very important thing. Very important thing that
it's very much at risk.
But a lot of people don't think about that. I mean, even it's just a person taking a chainsaw out and going out and chopping down. They could drive down a county road and chop down 30 light poles before anyone had any idea what was even happening, right? And then it's like, well, how long is it going to take to put up 30 more light poles? Well, whoever's out of power is going to be out of power for, I don't know,
4 days.
4 days.
3 days.
That, I mean, and again, we don't encourage any of that. That's not the point.
No, that's not what you're doing.
No, but
you're
it's
just basically bringing up the
vulnerabilities.
Vulnerabilities.
The
yes.
vulnerabilities of our own power grid and how it could affect. Okay, your power. Well, I got a deep freeze with a whole cow in it, and I got meat for a year. Power goes out. Oh, less than 24 hours or 48 hours.
72 hours. It's all
all ruined. Oh no. I mean, at the very least, I've told my wife this for a long time. We just recently finally got a deep freeze. Finally got a deep freeze. I don't know. I felt so proud.
Really?
We got because we went and shucked all that corn. Had so much corn, and my grandmother just happened to have a deep freeze in her garage. She said, "Oh yeah, take it." I'm like, "Huh, okay." Not very big, but it just felt good, feeling like I got a deep freeze out there and it's full of corn. Or just, and we got a pig for my father-in-law that he's gonna, he's raising, gonna butcher it. We're gonna have the whole pig, and it's gonna go in the deep freeze. But it's just like, I don't know. Like me and my wife was talking about it. She said, "Well, her sister said the same thing. Like when they got a deep freeze, And it's just like, I don't know what it is about being a younger adult and finally getting a deep freeze, but
isn't that cool? Though?
Yeah, but it filled me with a sense of like
I got a deep freeze.
Well, yeah, like
I'm putting up meat.
Yeah, like even my wife felt the same way, and it's just like, we got deep freezing now. What's up? And it's again just filled with.
That's fantastic.
It's just filled with 20 bags of corn that we shucked. But the point being is, like, I've told my wife a lot. I don't know how many solar. I don't know the math. You can figure that out pretty easy. But I don't know the math. But I want to have our deep freezes at the very least on solar panels. And then you buy the batteries yourself, and then it's just, if the power goes out, something bad happens. We have 6 months to a year worth of at least meat. Well, that's not going bad, right? That at least is not going bad. So I think anyone out there, I mean, someone might say this is dumb or a bad idea who thinks about prepping more than me, but anyone out there who even just thinks that bad times are coming, who doesn't have a good amount of storable food for a decent amount of time, think about at the very least putting your deep freezes or freezers or refrigerators on solar panel. I don't know.
Yep.
I mean, that's where I would start. I mean,
Yep.
a full solar panel system with your own batteries, not you see all these solar panel salesmen, they sell you solar panels, but you're still hooked up to the grid. That's not doing you any good. You want a solar panel system where you have the batteries at your own house, where they, if the grid goes off, you've still got your solar panels charging your batteries for your complex or your house or your whatever. But I mean, that's very expensive. I mean,
you do realize that if everybody else doesn't have any electricity and you do, it attracts attention.
Well, that's why you want it. Well, I mean, but the thing is, if you just had a deep freeze on, that's a little less noticeable. But at that point, also, then if you have a house and there are other neighbors around and they see that, well, then things are going to get a little sticky, a little hairy.
Yeah.
And I've thought about this for a long time, because most people's inclination would be to try to reason, talk, work out something, I don't know, help. I think helping in that situation is great.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mark's not going to help.
No, it's not even about not helping. Now, if it's like a neighbor I have a deep relationship with, yeah, there's trust there. But just any random person showing up, knowing I have what I have, one warning, turn, never come back, one more step, that's it. And that might be against God, or that might be wrong. But I in the sense of I don't know, protecting yourself.
Safe than sorry.
You got it in a situation like that. I'd rather a pile of 20 bodies at the end of my driveway than them to whatever.
Fool you.
And yes,
and hurt your children.
And again, that I think this is a deeper can get into a deeper conversation about society, and you can even get into a conversation about the intersexual dynamics. Whereas now that we have a female-led society, in a sense, where the feminist, not even about the feminist, but I think this plays a part, but just the female ethos, right? Of all people, the difference between male and female, and the emotionals, and the logic and the brain and how they act and this and that. But the point is, in the past, when it was predominantly men making the decisions in society, they would make decisions that would, in the moment, seem mean or rash or unkind, but would be better for their family, their tribe, their kingdom, their nation in 20, 50, 100 years. And so that's the point, is that you make decisions now that to some people would seem, whoa, I can't believe he did that. But in 20 years, you'd say, oh, because he did that, now
we're able to do this.
Yes, but I think that's something that's been lost on society in that, and I think it can tie into women in that, because women are the arbiters of emotion, of empathy, in a sense, right? And so now it's like the people who are making decisions in society, you have a theme of, hey, think about this, the people this is going to hurt. Think about the few people that this is going to really hurt their feelings. It's not going to put them in a good position. So we can't do that. Regardless of if it's better for the whole and in whatever time frame, we can't hurt these people. You see what I'm saying, Phee, right?
Let's mess up the 98% to make the 2% happy.
In that lie,
let's hold the 28 students back to make sure the 2.
In there lies, in point, most of our problems in society. I think you could sum it up with something like that. But again, I think this ties into, you have to make decisions, and these men no longer exist in our society, or they're demonized.
They're definitely demonized.
And so, I mean, I don't know, not to get off on
the emasculation of men over the last 30 years.
But you see what I'm saying?
Real.
Men used to make decisions that would better their societies, and
not always, but
no. But I just mean things that seem mean or bad or harsh or rash now. Hey, I give you one warning: get out of my compound, or I'm getting you. Okay, I've got to get you. Well, you might have been innocent, but I gave you the chance. Right. But if you happen to have been,
I'm gonna make an example out of you. I don't have 15 more.
But if you happen to be nefarious and I let you in, that one time wouldn't have been worth the 20 that were nice. No. And so that's the point.
I get
But
it.
you can apply that, I think, to a broader scale in society and even deeper.
Those are all issues, Mark, that people do not think about, that they're fixing to have to start thinking about real quick.
Well, but you know me, I just be a thinking.
I know but you're way ahead on
But
that.
I'm wasting my life thinking. But
No, you're not. But at the same time, most people that never think about it, they will be in a
They will be
very
confronted with these
chaotic
things.
state of mind.
yeah, well, I just don't want to be confronted with something I haven't thought about, which I know in a sense is a cope and a defense mechanism. But, and I get stumped all the time, but I just can't help it. Anyways, guys,
Hey, we appreciate you guys tuning in to the Phee Smee show with Manly Mark.
this was we just got into some conversation.
Manly Mark will be back at 12 noon, as I will not
yes.
be here at 12 noon. I have some appointments to do
Interesting.
and go. So,
Interesting.
ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, tune in tonight for Night at Phee. We've got a lot of traction, and we're doing real well on that one. And we're fixing to put a lot of library on Spotify.
Yep.
And get that. Mark's really done a good job on our website.
Well, I mean,
you can't see it yet, but he's working hard on
well,
it.
actually, you can because I accidentally hit publish.
Yeah, but it wasn't ready.
No, it's not ready.
So
but
what you're seeing is not what he's been working on.
No, it's not. But it's just I hit that publish button on accident because it's like right next to the preview button. And so I've been doing all this work and I hit publish. I was like, no. But long story short, guys, tune back in for 12. I have a little show for you. Just tune in.
Absolutely.
Anyways, God bless you guys. See you.